A lot of anime series are known to have some really crazy entrances during intense moments, and these entrances can make these moments even more spectacular. So here are some of my favorite anime entrances. Starting off this list is Kakashi showing up when Naruto and Sasuke are fighting on top of the hospital. First, let's talk about the fight between Naruto and Sasuke on top of the hospital, because this fight was pretty crazy, especially for the fact that this fight wasn't even in the manga. This was an anime only fight. So the reason why the fight started in the first place is because Sasuke realized that Naruto was just getting stronger at a faster pace than he was. And this is kind of true because during their fight, no one had the upper hand at all. Naruto and Sasuke were pretty much evenly matched with each other. And this is crazy to even think about because Naruto was going up against Sasuke, who at the time was using the two-tone Sharingan. The fight gets to the point where Naruto uses Rasengan and Sasuke uses Chidori, and this is the first time that we see them using their strongest moves against each other. And what I like about this moment is that like Naruto and Sasuke, they were kind of just like living in the moment because they were both evenly matched against each other. And I feel like they don't completely realize what they're doing because when they're on track to collide with each other, they realize they messed up and that they couldn't stop or get away from each other. At the same time, Sakura is trying to get in the middle of this and trying to stop them from fighting. Like, Sakura, what were you about to do? You're not extremely useful yet. That's a couple years from now. And just before they're about to collide with each other, Kakashi shows up just in time. For the first time, Kakashi grabs Naruto and Sasuke, spins them around, and changes their trajectory towards a bunch of water towers, which eventually causes the fight to end. And what I love about this moment, Kakashi realizes that Naruto was using the Rasengan, and a little bit later down the line, he realizes that Jiraiya was the one who taught Naruto on how to use the Rasengan. Kakashi would start to like scold Jiraiya about teaching Naruto such a powerful jutsu, but then Jiraiya throws it back at him and says, you know, you're one to talk because you taught Sasuke on how to use Chidori. Afterwards, Sasuke looks at the water tower that Naruto got thrown into and saw that Naruto's Rasengan didn't do a lot of damage to his water tower. And Sasuke just has this smug look to him. He parkours off the hospital building and from a different angle sees the water tower that Naruto landed into and saw that it actually did immense damage. And at this point, Sasuke realizes that, damn, Naruto might actually be a little bit stronger than me. And with the fight being completely over, Sakura tries to talk to Naruto and Naruto just tells her not to interfere with their fight ever again.
Naruto. Sakura-chan. 邪魔しないでくれってばよ.
And I absolutely love this moment because Naruto forgets about his love for Sakura for a moment and just focuses on his rivalry with Sasuke because that was more important at the time. So yeah, Kakashi showing up to pretty much stop the fight between Naruto and Sasuke, one of my favorite moments. I feel like it's kind of like a little bit of an underrated moment, especially for the fact that this fight wasn't in the manga and it was just an anime only fight. So yeah, I just absolutely love this fight because again, he stops the fight between Naruto and Sasuke, and Kakashi shows up on time for the first time ever. Next on my list is when All Might shows up, and then the rest of the faculty show up at the USJ. So first, All Might ends up showing up at the USJ after running into Ida because All Might had he had this strange feeling that something was going on because he hasn't heard anything from Aizawa or 13 yet. So when he shows up at the USJ, All Might isn't smiling. Like, he has this menacing look to him because he feels so bad. Like, he's just so pissed that while he was chilling at the school, Aizawa, Class 1A, and 13 were fighting for their lives against some low-level villains and Shigaraki and Korogiri. So All Might knocks out a few low-level villains to get to Aizawa, and then he saves Deku, Tsu, and Mineta. After he manages to save everyone, he starts to throw hands against a Nomu. But it doesn't work out right away. Like, All Might gets himself into a predicament until Todoroki, Bakugo, and Kirishima show up. And after this, All Might goes crazy. All Might starts throwing punches what seem to be randomly to the naked eye, but in actuality, they were precise punches at 100%. Then, All Might goes past 100%, pretty much going plus ultra, and just knocking this Nomu out of the USJ. At this point, All Might was pretty much near his time limit since he couldn't hold his muscular form for like a long time, so he tries to like bluff his way through so Korogiri and Shigaraki can get away, but Korogiri realizes that All Might is getting weaker and that the Nomu did do pretty good damage to All Might. So Shigaraki and Korogiri start to go after All Might, knowing the fact that, yeah, he's weak right now. So All Might is in a predicament again. His bluff wasn't working, reinforcements weren't there yet, and Shigaraki and Korogiri were going after him. But then, Deku showed up trying to save All Might, but then Shigaraki, he was already prepared and started to get his quirk ready for Deku. And just before Deku and Shigaraki make contact with each other, Shigaraki gets a few bullet holes in his hand from Snipe. And this means that the rest of the faculty finally managed to show up just in time. Snipes continues to blast a bunch of villains, especially the ones that Denki, Jiro, and Yaoyorozu were going up against. President Mike, destroys a bunch of villains' eardrums, and then Ectoplasm throws in a couple kicks here and there. But Shigaraki and Korogiri managed to get away, but that doesn't matter because the day is saved thanks to the faculty of UA. The next moment on my list is when Dangai Ichigo shows up to stop Aizen. Ichigo has been training in the Dangai trying to learn on how to use the final Getsuga because Aizen, he was just way too powerful. He went through the Gote 13 without breaking a sweat, and he got even stronger after absorbing the Hyogoku. I can never pronounce that one. The Hyogoku, right? Either way, Aizen was just a powerhouse. After training and learning the final Getsuga, Ichigo and Isshin show back up on the battlefield where Aizen was at, and Ichigo just looks completely different. He's taller, longer hair, his arm is covered by like this armor-like thing from his sword, and he's just a whole lot more powerful to the point where Aizen couldn't even sense him. While Aizen is monologuing, Ichigo interrupts Aizen and tells him, hey, let's go fight somewhere else. I don't want anyone else to get hurt. To which Aizen replies saying something along the lines of like, how dare you request that from me? You have such nerve to like request that because I'm just so much stronger than you. But before Aizen can even finish his sentence, Ichigo disrespects Aizen, grabs him by the face, and just flies him over to a new battlefield. Once they get to that new battlefield, Ichigo throws Aizen down to the battlefield, and Aizen, he's shocked. He is speechless. He can't even process what just happened. He can't process the fact that Ichigo managed to grab Aizen's face and just throw him to a new battlefield. Like, he was shocked. And in this new battlefield, this is where Aizen and Ichigo's final battle takes place. And I just absolutely love this moment for the fact that Ichigo was just disrespecting Aizen from when he leaves the Dangai to pretty much near the end of this battle. Ichigo just completely disrespects Aizen. So this next one might not be considered a typical anime entrance since like nothing was going on beforehand, but a lot of crazy stuff happened after they appeared, and that is when Night Raid ends up showing up. So Night Raid ends up showing up at this seemingly innocent family's home and just starts slaughtering the family members and the guards. Tatsumi goes looking for the girl that pretty much welcomed him into her home and warn her about Night Raid, that they're the ones behind all of this, and even tries to protect her once Night Raid does show up in front of them because he believes that Night Raid is the villains. But Night Raid ends up showing this girl's true colors and showing that she is just an absolute disgusting human being. She took in Tatsumi's friends and starts torturing them, even killing one of his friends because she had better hair than this horrible, atrocious little girl. While this little girl is having like her monologue and going crazy, Akame is about to kill her, but Tatsumi ends up stopping her and does it himself. So the reason why I like Night Raid's entrance slash like introduction is because we were led to believe that Night Raid was the big villains for this series, when in actuality, they were the heroes. And the real villains were these rich folks. And so for this last one, again, it might not be considered, the typical anime entrance since all these characters were already at the location, but I'm still gonna include it because it was just an absolutely insane moment. And that is when all of the Black Bull members ends up pulling up on Longrus to go save Finral. This whole thing starts off with a Royal Knights selection exam where two teams go up against each other and they have to try to destroy the other team's crystal. So this is when Finral's team goes up against Longrus' team. With Finral and Longrus having similar types of magic, this was one hell of a match, especially for the fact that Finral was an underdog. He's not in like too many battles and he's going up against Longrus, who was a vice captain at the time. With the climax of the match, Longrus and Finral launched similar attacks at each other, with Finral and his team's crystal getting lit up like a Christmas tree. But Longrus isn't done with Finral. Since Longrus is a reincarnation of an elf, he starts to have flashbacks about how people other than his parents talked about him and Finral. This causes Longrus to kind of lose his marbles a little bit. It gets to the point where even though the match was officially over, Longrus was going to completely obliterate Finral. But before he even has the chance to do so, the Black Bulls instantly drop into the battlefield with Asta, Luck, and Magna having their attacks slash weapons aimed at Longrus' neck and forcing him to stop. Noelle goes to check up on Finral, and then the rest of the Black Bulls are backing up Asta, Luck, and Magna with all of their grimoires out, ready to attack Longrus if he tries to make another move. So there are a few reasons why I absolutely love this entrance slash moment. For one, Longrus was really about to completely kill off Finral, and I was expecting the Wizard King to step in and stop him, but he doesn't. The Wizard King probably expected Asta and the rest of the Black Bulls to step in and stop him themselves. Two, when the Black Bulls pull up on Longrus, Asta, Luck, Magna, they had their weapons slash attacks aimed towards Longrus' neck, and they're pretty much telling him they don't care about the match anymore. If they try to make one more move on Finral, they'll kill him. Like that was just absolutely insane. And three, Longrus continues to talk down to the Black Bulls, and just like a few minutes later, he gets his behind handed to him by Asta, Zora, and Mimosa. And everything Longrus did, he completely deserved it. I don't care if he felt sad that people were talking bad about him and saying that Finral was the better brother and everything, even though Longrus was the more gifted one when it came to magic or whatever. I don't care. After everything Longrus has done, he doesn't get any sympathy at all, but he does start to become a little bit of a better character later down the line, even to the point where Longrus gives his vice captain position to Yuno. But after what he did to Finral, I still can't forgive him for that. But yeah, those were just some of my favorite anime entrances. Comment down below, what are some of your favorite anime entrances? But I pretty much got nothing else to say, so I'm gonna end the video here. Thank y'all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for my other discussion videos. Also for my reaction videos, if you're into any of those, definitely subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment, you know the whole thing. So with all that being said, again, thank y'all for watching. Until next time, see ya.